right to freedom of religion. So right to freedom includes right to freedom. Right to freedom includes right to freedom of religion as well. In this case too, the constitution makers were very particular to state it clearly. You have already read in chapter 2 that India is a secular state. It's also mentioned in the preamble that India is a secular state. Most people in India, like anywhere else in the world, follow different religions. Some may not believe in any religion. Secularism is based on the idea that the state is concerned only with the relations among human beings and not with the relation between human beings and God. So, secular, it means say that India is a secular state means all religions are treated equal. There is no specific religion that is being followed, and in this country, in India, all religions are being followed and given equal priority. A secular state is one that does not establish any one religion as an official religion. Indian secularism practices an attitude of a principled and equal distance from all religion. So it treats all the religion equally. The state has to be neutral and impartial in dealing with all religion. Every person has a right to profess, practice and propagate the religion he or she believes in. Every religious group or sect is free to manage its religious affairs. The right to propagate one's religion, however, does not mean that a person has right to compel another person to convert into his religion by means of force, fraud, inducement or allurement. So, as the Constitution states that every person has the right to practice his own religion and propagate his religion, but there is a condition that one should not force other person to change his religion to other religion by force, fraud or any kind of allurement. Of course, a person is free to change religion on his or her own will. Freedom to practice religion does not mean that a person can do whatever he wants in the name of religion. So, freedom to religion does not mean that a person can do anything in terms of religion. So there are certain constitutional remedies you should not hamper. As I told you, practicing your own rights does not mean that you should hamper, you should destroy, you should disregard others' rights. So once if you're practicing your own freedom, you're free to do that. Practicing your own religion, propagating your own religion, it's good, but it should not disrespect any other religion or any other rights. For example, one cannot sacrifice animals or human beings as offerings to supernatural forces or gods. Religious practices which treat human as inferior or those that infringe women's freedom are not allowed. For example, one cannot force a widow to shave head or wear white clothes. A secular state is one that does not confer any privilege or favor on any particular religion, nor does it punish or discriminate against people on the basis of religion they follow. Thus, the government cannot compel any person to pay any taxes for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religion or religious institution. There shall be no religious instruction in the government educational rights institutions. In educational institutions managed by private bodies, no person shall be compelled to take part in any religious instruction or to attend any religious worship. So these all points has been very, very clearly mentioned in the Constitution. You cannot force anyone to follow a specific religion. However, a person has the right, if he or she is willing to convert to another religion, he or she is free to do that. But it should not be done forcefully. You cannot force anyone to worship a particular religion, and you should not disrespect also any specific religion. So in the next class, we'll start with cultural and educational rights.